But if you don't want to be somewhere, don't.
But it's easier said than done.
True.
So yes, I mean you don't have to go to the gym. Don't go to work. I mean there's consequences to everything. That's what I'm saying. The bad habits. I think the bad habits are easier than good habits. Even though you know those good habits are good for you, you know that those good habits come with something. Come with something you have to give up. That's
so
where
okay.
I'm coming.
So
that's
then
where I'm
now we're talking about sacrifice. You're
Okay,
talking
yes,
about
there.
sacrifice, and you're also talking about being comfortable.
But then that's
with with the bad habits, there's a sense of I'm comfortable in this
Yeah.
zone. I don't want to go anywhere else. And with the good habit, you have to make sacrifice to obtain the good results
calling.
that comes with it.
the calling.
Look, hell of an intro. I tell you what you info, but I never really been the type of dude to give no info. But if you see your ends low and you trying to get a benzo, I'll give your ass some game that'll change the way that you think, bro. Super skilled with the pencil, super ill in my mental. I reminisce on life, I'm nice, here's my memento. Get it through your tempo, I get on any tempo and give it all I got. I'm hot, I got like 10 flows, trying to live on the 10th floor, across from residentials that I own. My mind stayed grown, I used to think clothes, I really used to think hoes and what I do to get those. And then I switched it up, I'm only thinking
I'm gonna roll into it and ask you again and see if you're ready.
All right, man. Well, we're back with another one. Should I start it off with the let's get it, let's get it, let's get it, let's get it, let's get it?
Come on, man. Save me the trouble.
Save you the trouble. Do you have a better intro?
No.
Why not?
Because
I've never heard you once say anything on the intro. You scared?
I'm not scared of
You
no
still
intro.
letting your public speaking get to you?
Yeah, I'm chilling.
You little punk.
Call me everything you want, but you know where I stand.
That's fine though. But hey, we're here. We're back with another one. You know what we do here? We talk about the good, the bad, the ugly. The Walk and Grow podcast. Now, you name a podcast that does this. I'm actually curious to know if you do know of it. Let's hear it. Send it over because I'm curious. I hope that you're curious. If you've even been seeking for this, do you know of one like this? A podcast like this that talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, for instance?
I have a couple. Yeah,
You do.
I do.
You care to share?
No.
No, not on this platform. That's a smart choice, man. We don't do that promotion. You gotta pay us first. Hey.
That will not be fair to the Walk and Grow community.
That's fair. That's fair. We're here for you guys, as we always are. But if you do know of any of them, I'm curious. I want to know what they're doing, comparative to what we're doing.
Okay, stop distracting them. What do you want to talk about, man? Let's get.
How am I distracting anybody?
You're talking about things that nobody really.
You're speaking for other people now. Be careful.
No, that's true. That's true.
Anyways, what do you want to talk about? Since I'm distracting everyone.
No, you asked me a question. No, I asked you the question.
Yeah, you did.
And you told me that you wanted to talk about it.
Well, no, we both looked at each other and we were like, this is the moment to press the record button and let's just get into it.
Yeah, so basically, it is safe to say that we're all striving for something, right? We're all going after something. And we all want something. Some of us ask God, some of us, just go about trying to obtain that thing in different ways. Now, let's just pause for a minute and think about this one potential scenario. Hypothetically, if that thing that you want, or that whatever that cause you're striving for, you just get a call that says, are you ready for what you've been asking for? Do you consider as though you're ready for it right now?
You talking about?
I'm just talking in general in terms of, you as an individual, the qualities that you have, the attributes, the skill sets that you have. Do you feel as though you're ready to receive the things that you're seeking for?
Well, before I answer that question, like, have you ever gotten that call before, or somebody coming to you?
No, I mean, I'm just saying hypothetically. Let's say, for those of us who ask God, right? I want this is if
you guys know when you guys put the triangle together.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. Listen.
Put your hands together, guys.
Come
just
on,
real
man.
quick.
No.
Put the left hand up.
Please do not.
Put your right hand up.
Please.
Make sure your thumbs touch each other. And then make sure the top, your pointing finger and your middle finger are touching. Yeah, I think that's what he's referring to. But hey, go ahead.
That's not what I'm referring to. But basically, that's why I say hypothetically, if you get a call, that say, hey, here's everything that you've been asking for. Are you ready to receive that?
Am I?
Yes. Let's say, Ron, I'm sure there are things that you want right now, right? Are you ready to receive those things? Like, do you feel as though you put the necessary work to become the individual you need to be to have those things?
Well, every day I'm working on that. That's why when you say, like, am I ready? I don't know if anybody, let me not say anybody. I don't know if I will ever be ready for, everything to come in of, like, literally everything to come at me at once. But it's one of those things where I'm okay with accepting not being ready, because if everything comes to me at once, I will get even more prepared. It's almost like my back is against the wall if everything is thrown at me. Now I'm going to figure out everything that I need to do. However, every day I'm working on just getting everything that, like you said, if all those wishes and whatnot. Every day I'm working on it. So if I were to get a phone call and everything gets thrown at me, I personally would know what to do, just because I'm already working at it. I'm already doing the things that I want to do. So it's, if anything, it's just allowing me to move faster, quickly.
What are some of the elements that allowed you to already be prepared for a scenario like that?
Knowing what I wanted to do, knowing where I wanted to be. I think those are, the two top things. It's just really, truly indeed, just knowing, again, yourself, knowing what you want. Because once you know what you want, you'll know exactly what to navigate through.
Was it a challenging process getting to that?
Of course. I don't think anything in life is easy.
And when did you know that, I got it, I figured it out?
That I figured out that this is it?
Yeah, this is what you want to do.
I don't know if I could pinpoint a time. It was more of like the experience and the feeling of, actually doing the work or going through whatever it is. And I was like, this feels good. Like, for instance, moving to North Carolina. That right there, I didn't know where I wanted. And I've been preaching, I am getting out of Connecticut immediately for the longest. Now, it was where down south, I had no idea. It was just, I knew I wanted to be down south. So when the opportunity presents itself, I wasn't prepared at that moment, but I ran. The opportunity was there. The calling, like you said, the calling was there. So it's, what did I do in that situation?
You adjusted.
Yeah. I just figured it out. It's go about it and make sure you do what you have to do to make sure you keep yourself alive. But what I was saying to myself years ago of, I want to move, I need to get out of Connecticut. I need to get out of it. I want something where majority of the year is warm. That was always something I've already knew since way back then. So made it easy to make that transition. So when the calling was there, it's peace out. I don't know if anybody could ever really, truly, indeed be prepared. How about yourself? Are you saying that you were prepared for every calling that you've ever received?
Absolutely not. I don't think you can, but you can work towards becoming as better as you can be.
Yeah.
And that's through experience, and that's through learning. You will make mistakes, obviously. Right. But it's just the willingness to continue to get better. When you fall down, you have that willingness to get back up. That's what makes you, the warrior, and build that journey for you. But I don't think you can fully be ready unless you know. Not even if you know exactly what you want. It's you. By the time you get it, it will be a completely different experience. Let's just put it that way.
By the time you get what?
What it is? Yeah, that you're asking for.
That calling.
Yes. 9 times out of 10, it will be a completely different experience than what you anticipated. That's what I'm saying. Let's say if you think that you're ready, right? And you, when you think that you're ready, you're expecting it to go a certain way because you're ready, right, quote unquote. But when it does come your way, it will impact you in a different way than what you thought it would do.
Right. Okay. That's fair. You can never predict anything.
Yeah. You have any follow-up questions?
No, I don't. I'm just reflecting on anyone that has received those callings. Kind of like what has gone through their mind. Because it's only you and I, right? That we can bounce ideas off of each other, and understand what went through your mind, what went through my mind. But I'm curious to hear from someone that.
I would love to have a room of just individual and just have, pause that question and see what the feedbacks are.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, we don't have that.
Not yet.
Right now.
Not yet. We'll get there.
Yeah.
Not too concerned.
No, it's just a question. It's like, okay, if my phone rings today, is the call that I've been waiting for. Hey, everything you want is here. Come get it. Am I ready? Am I, like we said,
what makes you
like, I'm gonna explain to you how I was thinking about it. Remember a while back we spoke about the example of the cup, right? You can only fill it up to a certain to a certain amount.
Right.
How big is your cup? Because that will determine how full your cup can be. As your cup can only contain 8 ounces, or
is it a small cup from McDonald's?
Exactly. So that's the same. That's the same concept.
Their cups get big as hell every time.
It's the same concept basically. When that call comes, where would your cup be? What size is your cup, and how full is it? Can you answer those two questions? What size is your cup, and how full is it?
I mean, are you saying like size in terms of ounces or like small?
No.
I'm
saying I'm saying so basically, right? Let's say you have a goal, right, to achieve something.
Gotcha.
Are you equipped well enough? Are you equipped well enough to obtain all that what you're asking for, and actually, have a meaningful impact with that? That's basically what I'm saying with the size of your cup.
Got it. How ready are you?
Yeah.
For whatever it is that you want. I mean, are you you're not personally asking me, are you?
No. I wasn't. I was just, it came to mind, and I was like, you know what? I think that would be a good thing to ask. It's basically going back to like, what's your purpose? What are you doing the things that you do?
And if you get that call, you won't know what to do unless if you know what you want to do.
Yeah. So, but to do that, also you need to figure out who you really are, because there's a lot of different segments to it.
We talk a lot about knowing who you are.
Yeah.
How does one figure that out?
You just gotta spend time with yourself, man. You have to spend time with yourself and do the due diligence to really break down all the facets of your life, your character, and just look in and out at who you are. It takes time. It's not something you can do in a minute.
Right, which is perfectly fine and understandable.
Because you know yourself in different scenarios, how you behave, how you interact with people in different environments. Why do you do that? Why do you do certain things?
I mean, I'm just trying to help. Like, damn, how the hell do you figure out who yourself is, like, or are?
It takes time.
Yeah, but like, what examples or exercise or like things to do to help? Because I mean, you can sit with yourself all day long if you want. Like, but how are you gonna know that you're making progress?
Self-awareness. How good is your self-awareness when you do something? To the point where you can look at yourself from the outside looking in and know exactly the reason behind why you did something. Self-awareness is probably one of the biggest ones. Self-conscious. Meditation allow you to pause and really reflect on who you are, and reflecting, basically it's your happy place. We've been so accustomed to next task. Let's do this. Right. What's next? Yeah. That we don't really take the time to pause and
sit in the present
and
acknowledge where you are today.
And acknowledge that present moment. So that's why I love meditation. But yeah, that helped me a lot. If you're asking me, something that helped me kind of discover and being curious, asking questions. Yeah. Being around people and just having conversation with people and think
all those questions
and think like, it allows you to see, okay, they handled it completely different than the way I would have handled it. Why would I handle it that way? Like, you're really asking yourself questions that you normally would be afraid to ask yourself. Those questions that you're afraid to ask yourself, if you're able to put those up front, that's you doing that's soul searching. There's a lot of different ways to go about it, and I'm not even touching on half of the ways I went about it. It's just that, those are the little bit of elements that allowed me to grow.
Yeah.
And really discover mistakes too. Mistakes teaches you a lot. When you reflect it, that feeling that you get when you've done something that you were not, quote unquote, you're not so proud of.
Yeah.
That moment teaches you a lot if you're really able to reflect on it.
And that's the key thing. You got to be able to reflect on it.
Yeah.
I mean, being
journaling, I would say journaling has been another helpful way, because you can look back and see. But yeah, go ahead. You were talking about.
Yeah, no, I was just saying, like, being like a trader within, not really. I trade just to keep up with the markets and understand what's going on. Being a trader, you truly indeed want to understand why did you make certain trades. You have to. You don't have to journal, but it's important for you to journal if you want to consistently make good decisions. And those good decisions, basically, like when you go look back to see why did I make this? What is it that I saw at that moment? And you kind of can see the pattern, essentially. And that's the same thing you're talking about here. If you make a mistake and you reflect on it, then you'll be able to identify, I did this same thing 2, 3, whatever months ago. Why did I do it again today? And then you'll be able to pick up it's in a habit now. Now, if it's a habit, you can kind of cut the habit short. You just got to catch it. And I think that's truly indeed the tough part about it. It's catching the habit and then breaking it, especially if it's a bad habit. Oh, man. Bad habits are the worst. It's crazy how it's easier to maintain bad habits, but it's harder
to break them.
Well, not necessarily to break them, but it's harder to keep good ones going.
It's your energy. Where are you focusing your energy towards?
Is it because the bad stuff is easier?
This is what your mind tells you. It's all in how you look at it. If you feel as though the one that you're not supposed to do is easier, then that's what your mind tells you. But to somebody else, it could be completely different.
True.
But no, it's just how you look at it. It's how you look at it. What do you think?
About the bad being easier?
Yeah.
I think good habits are harder to maintain and harder to even create, because I think a lot of the things that we have done growing up, or even we were taught, not everything was good. And maybe maybe it was good, but as you grow up, you kind of lose interest for certain things. So it no longer is something good for you. And that's how you as an individual will perceive it. For instance, I'm currently not a big TV person. I watch TV, but not as much as I used to. I look at it as a bad habit now, so I just limit it. So that's truly indeed how I deal with that aspect of it, right? But growing up, all I did was watch TV, play video games, just do things that wasn't really, I guess.
See, the reason why I cannot agree that TV is a bad habit.
I don't think TV is a bad habit.
I'm gonna let you finish first.
I don't think TV is a bad habit, though. I think it's a bad habit for me.
Okay.
I can't speak for anybody else, but it's a bad habit for me because I just don't see too much of my focus. I don't really being productive there. So I'm gonna watch TV, absolutely. I'm just gonna limit as much as what I do with it, and that's just how I deal with that bad habit. Now, that bad habit, and that's just an example. I mean, if I could think of something else right now, I'd be more than happy to share it with you. But that bad habit in itself, it's hard to destroy for anybody because it's something that you're just so used to. Now you try to put something good into it and try to do that. It's harder to implement because all you do is the bad one. It's easier. Whichever one's easier, you're going to do more. Even though you know it's good for you. I mean, I think we can talk about that. I think a good example is the gym. Or just working out. Doing something physical for your body. I mean, I see the same people at the gym every morning. And I can figure out and I can realize when somebody's missing. It's like, what happened?
Stalker.
No, it's you just see the same faces every day.
Yeah, go ahead.
You just see the same faces every day. Now you start to think, okay, is this person okay? Did this person move? Is this person just quitting on the gym? Like, well, you kind of.
Why are you playing detective with somebody
I'm not
else?
playing detective, but it's just certain things. It's when somebody's consistently doing something and then they just stop.
You can pick up on that.
Right. You can see it very vividly, very clear. It's like, something's up. Now, for instance, was that a good habit or was that a bad habit for them? You don't really know, and it all depends on how they look at it.
But how can the gym be a bad habit for somebody?
Because maybe they don't want to actually be there.
What? What would you be with somewhere you don't want to be?
Why do people? I'm not gonna even say this one. How many times have you worked any place, anywhere in your lifetime, and so many people say, I hate this job, but they will come back tomorrow?
Yeah, I get that, but they have bills to pay.
Okay.
Right? So that's a legit reason,
So you're saying,
like, if you don't want to be at the gym, nobody dragged you inside the gym to go work out. You did it yourself. If you don't want to be at the gym, don't be at the gym.
But
so why would you?
That they didn't? How do you know that they didn't drag themselves? Like, what if they're being forced into the gym?
By who?
I don't know.
Who's good? I've never heard of a case where somebody's being. Medical reason maybe. Where I don't know.
I don't know either, but I'm just this is all hypothetically speaking.
But if you don't want to be somewhere, don't.
But it's easier said than done.
True.
So yes, you don't have to go to the gym. You don't go to work. There's consequences to everything. That's what I'm saying. The bad habits. I think the bad habits are easier than good habits, even though those good habits are good for you. You know that those good habits come with something. You have to give up. That's
so
okay. I'm coming.
So then now we're talking about sacrifice.
Okay.
You're talking about sacrifice, and you're also talking about being comfortable.
But then
with the bad habits, there's a sense of I'm comfortable in this zone. I don't want to go anywhere else. And with the good habit, you have to make sacrifice to obtain the good results that comes with it.
The calling.
Sure, calling. I don't know what you're.
That's the calling. The calling we were speaking about earlier.
Yeah.
You gotta give up something to get that calling to receive. Again, put your left hand, face it in front of you. So you look at the back of your hand. Same with both hands.
No.
Make sure
can you please not?
Make sure you have your thumbs touching each other. That's the calling.
That's not it. That is not it.
That's the calling. No, but no, it's sacrifices that have to be.
Please do not.
I don't know why there's such a bad connotation to that, but whatever it is, it is.
Good.
No.
Yeah, go ahead.
No.
Go ahead, man.
Are you gonna stick with your bad habits? Are you gonna go to your calling? Or are you gonna?
I really wish we could play that segment, but it all comes down to choices. You have the choice to decide where you want to end up. It's your choice.
Yeah, but
literally,
you're saying this. You're truly indeed saying this like it's. Yeah.
It's your choice, bro. You have just like the same choice that you have when you wake up in the morning and you say, I gotta get out and go make money to pay my bills and do so and so. It's the same choice that you have when you say, I'm gonna stay in bed all morning on a Saturday morning, right? You have a choice.
Some people
everything that you do.
So then let's go back to the job example. You said no, some people don't have a choice.
What? When did I say that?
I said for the person that says I hate my job, but you literally said they have no choice because they have to pay bills.
Well, in the context, they have a choice. Yes, they have a choice, but in that particular scenario, they need to pay their bills.
Okay, so in that particular scenario, what should that individual do?
Do something that will pay the bills and where they actually enjoy working.
How does one figure that out?
You gotta know yourself. You gotta know what you enjoy doing.
You can't say you can't.
You gotta know. You gotta know. You gotta know what you enjoy doing, though.
Okay.
At least that. I mean, we all know the things that we like. You know what kind of ice cream you like.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna work at an ice cream shop.
No, I'm not saying. I'm not saying that. I'm saying if you're able to identify what kind of ice cream you like, you should be able to identify what kind of job you want.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Because that will then determine where you feel comfortable. Learn about the culture of that place. Learn about how is the environment, on a Friday. Just do the due diligence that you must do to know if this is a good environment, safe environment, or for me to be in. Because we spend most of our time at work. I'm not gonna go work somewhere I don't feel comfortable. It makes no sense. Yeah. It's a disservice to my well-being. And that's why you can see, people start taking that even outside of work. It affects them outside of work.
Yeah.
I don't want to be in an environment like that. So it's important that you do the due diligence to find a position. I don't care how hard it is, but at least be comfortable enough to do something that brings you some sort of peace rather than, makes you stressful and you have to take that at home, take that on your kids, your husband, or your wife, or what.
So how does one even identify like a calling or, hey, I should change this situation, this scenario?
Man. When you don't feel good about something. How do you feel inside, man? Listen to your heart. It's not an easy.
What song is that?
It's not an easy task. It's not an easy task, and I make it sound easy. It's not. It's gonna take a lot of work, but you have to do it because the great view is on the other side of the wall, but you have to climb that wall. And the wall is you discovering exactly who you are and where you're trying to go. Who do you want to be? When you close your eyes and think about 20 years down the line, where am I? Like, how do you see my life?
To think about the future.
Exactly, because then it allows you to then start making the necessary steps that you need to make now to get to that future. So, for example, when I told you the other day and I say, close your eyes, right?
You did not tell me this. Don't lie.
No, I did. And I say, this was a while back, and I say, what would you want your eulogy to be? When your day comes and you're gone, what would you want your legacy to be remembered as? Are you working towards that right now? I asked you that a while back. Yeah. I ask you things like that all the time. So it all comes back to that concept. What are you striving towards?
I mean, you say it, and I understand that it's not easier said than done, but you do realize, like, thinking about the future requires effort.
It does. But it's an effort. If you don't have a plan for your future, but where are you heading?
I don't want to put that effort into it then.
But okay then. So it's basically like sending a ship with no destination. It's gonna end up where it decided to end up. But if you set a destination, it's gonna get to its destination. So basically, you're telling me you don't have a destination for your life. You're just going with the way things are coming at you.
Yeah, I'm going with the flow.
Wow. Okay.
The waves. You know how the waves come? Waves come and go.
Sure.
That's life, man. Okay. It's life for some people.
Yeah, I know. I totally get that. And some people are actually successful with that, avenue. But for the majority of us, we need a plan, and an understanding of why we're doing the things. Why did you wake up this morning? And made the decision that you made? It's because you're striving to become an individual that fits certain standard and wants to live a certain lifestyle. Are you working every day
to become that?
To become and start living that lifestyle on your day to day? Think about that a bit more, and see
where do you think all of this starts? Like, let's say, for instance, someone gets or understands, like, oh, this is my calling. Like, I'm trying to understand, like, how does one even identify that? Because I could now that you say it, I truly indeed think my calling was literally to move down south. I didn't realize it at the moment, though. That was my calling.
But what do you consider that to be your calling now? Like, if you say you didn't know it was a calling, which means you just did it, on impulse.
Yeah, I mean.
Now do you feel? Why do you feel as though now it was?
Because I was saying I wanted to be down south for a very long time. Before that calling didn't even occur. Like, before I had the opportunity to do it, I've always knew I wanted to get out of Connecticut.
And you also had a plan for when you come down south, right?
Semi. Yeah. I don't think I had a complete plan. Like, it was, again, the decision was made very quickly and abruptly. It wasn't something that I was just like, all right, I've been planning on moving down south, but again, like I said, I had no destination. I didn't know where. Had that opportunity open, and it was immediately, I was like, what do I have to lose? Literally, what do I have to lose? And at that point in time, it was just, I will figure it out. But yes, there was little small things that were part of the planning, but I can't tell you I planned it all entirely out. Absolutely not. No way. No way. That was something that I most of it I had to figure out as I maneuvered through it. I could say that at least getting there and making sure that I was good, that was covered. But then it was like, all right, now that you're good, how do you maintain it? How do you stay there? How do you grow? Right? Again, moving to an area where you don't know nobody, it's tough. All you have is yourself. And I think that's what really indeed helped me identify who I am, what I want to do, where I want to be.
Spending time yourself.
Yeah, it's, I mean, when you don't have anybody but yourself, you're literally starting all over again. And making friends as an adult, it's tough. Simply because everybody got their own things. But yeah, no, I definitely wouldn't say I had it all figured out. No way. I had some things figured out, but those some things.
But you did not start. You did not start from ground zero. So, which means you had something that allowed you to continue on that path.
Yeah.
So for those who don't even have a ground zero, that's not a good approach, I would say.
Yeah, that's fair.
But anyway, I hope I answered your question. I hope.
Kind of, not really.
What do you mean, kind of?
How does one know it's their calling?
You feel some type of way about it. And it's something that you constantly reflect on or think about. And it always stays with you. You know how you feel when you do certain things.
Mm-hmm.
Which one brings out the most joy out of you?
Okay.
Which one do you do and you're like, I'm not talking, because I know I can hear a lot of people say sleeping. That's not what I'm referring to.
People wait, what? Sleeping?
Yeah. Some people in sleep.
Calling?
No, I mean, I'm just saying, like, some people enjoy sleeping. But when I say, like, what activity brings the most joy out of it, some people could say sleeping.
I was going to be like, whoa.
No.
Whoa there.
Yeah. So, does that make sense to you now?
Yeah. It's I guess in other words, one way to identify if it's your calling or not is see if you enjoy it. Mm-hmm. It doesn't make you feel good. Is it something that you've always wanted? Is it something that you dreamt of? Did you wake up and say, yeah, that's a good decision? Or did you wake up and you start getting nervous, and you start getting anxious, your hands start getting sweaty? I don't know. At that point in time, it's just, is it the best decision for you? And I think sometimes.
And it doesn't have to be one thing forever. Like it changes over time. Yes, the more you grow, the more that purpose, that calling, grows as well, or magnifies in a certain.
Would you say it's fair to say that the more you think about it,
yes,
the more it's your calling?
Yes, because then you're basically focusing a lot of your energy towards it. Mm. And where you send your energy is what you attract towards your life, basically. Yes.
There you go. I think that's it, though. That's how you can identify if it's a calling or not.
Constantly thinking about
something. You're constantly thinking about it.
Yes. That I can agree.
That's fair.
Yeah. Well, that was interesting take on how one question could take us all the way to this point. How we started with the calling, basically. In terms of final remarks, I think, like I said, just make sure to take some time and reflect on what would you want your eulogy to be. Because if you're able to understand, what kind of legacy you want to leave behind, you're able to know what kind of action you need to start taking today, right now. What steps you need to, you should be heading towards. I don't care what level in life you are. You always have that opportunity to, make the right decision. So go out there and do what you have to do. Take some time to reflect. And if you have any comments, make sure to leave some comments to us, and we can talk as well. And You know, I would love to see everybody do well. It's important that we all do well and do the things that we're passionate about, so we can all live in harmony and make this world a better place together, with the skill sets that we received as gift from early on. We just have to nurture those gifts, but we don't do that if we don't know where we want to go and who we want to be. But yeah, that's my take on it.
Yeah, and don't forget, subscribe, leave us a review. Give us feedback, whether it's on the email, Walk and Grow, Gmail.
We're gonna put the phone number up now. We're gonna add that to the website, into the IG page. So you feel free to send us message. I will personally be responding as well. I'll just respond and interact with whoever wants to interact and talk about the podcast a bit more.
But send us any emails, walkandgrow@gmail.com. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Walk and Grow. Everything is just Walk and Grow, so you can find us everywhere, really. I mean, we have it all down.
Let's grow.
All we got to do is make sure that we keep this thing going. We're here for you guys. Let us know if you have any feedback, anything that we can help you guys out with. Just reach out. Don't hesitate. Don't be scared.
Continue to spread love.
Even if you're hesitant on pressing that send button, just do it. Love. You got nothing to lose.
Yeah, boy.
Focus is just leveling up. Cause I know the life I want. I'm just setting it up. Removing those that's close who try messing it up. Can't wait for champagne toast with the relevant bunch. Like, what's up? Yeah. Like, what you do, homie? What's your vision? How you thinking? How you move, homie? And is you cool, homie? You thinking building, then that's something we could do, homie.